Danmachi Season 4, Part 2, Episode 11. The final episode, not only of Part 2, but of the whole season as a whole. The 22 episodes, I think it is. And I think it was actually a worthy episode. I think it was actually a great episode. Not a bad episode by any means. It was actually worthy of being a final episode because we saw progression of the story, we saw action, we saw basically everything that we wanted to see. We saw the reunion of the characters of Bell and Ryu after getting out of the dungeon, which is something that I hope happened in this season, and it actually did happen at the end of the episode. We also saw Bell and Ryu interacting with other characters. Some new information that we got, for example, that I think it was Gale Win or something like that is not a criminal anymore and stuff like that, little stuff like that here and there. So yeah, and like I say, action at the beginning, also sentimental stuff throughout the whole episode, and because of that is why I say it's actually a worthy episode, actually a great episode. Of course, it was not as tense, it was not as action packed as the last episode, because the last episode was all about that. This episode was a mix of both things, of action and a little bit more of chill things happening. That is basically what the episode is all about. It is really hard to describe this episode as just a couple of words. I know I always do that in some episode reviews that I describe the episodes in a couple of words or in a word, but this episode is actually kind of hard. I guess the only word that comes to mind is conclusion, which of course makes sense because this is actually the finale. Pretty curious how we didn't see Ainz throughout the whole fourth season, not even part 1 or 2, which is something that I think is intentional. I think the author didn't want to have Ainz in this fourth season for a reason. He wanted the whole fourth season to be all about Bell and Ryu, and yeah, that is basically what happened. This is a full season, part 1 and 2, dedicated fully to especially Ryu. I guess I can say that 22 episodes do a lot for a character, and of course it did a lot for the character of Ryu, because before the fourth season, season 1, 2 and 3, I guess if you want to include Sword Oratoria, although I don't remember if she was featured there, but yeah, before this fourth season she wasn't really that important or rememberable. I don't know if that is even a word, but yeah, before this she was here and there, but after this season, man, she's definitely one of those characters that is up there as being one of the best characters of the whole anime. So yeah, this season did a lot for her, a lot. We saw so much of her backstory, so much of her, feelings, how she acts, how she feels. We see that by the end of the episode, she's basically now in love with Belle. I guess now you can add another person to people who love Belle. I am actually wondering who Belle is going to end up at the end of the anime. I think that is a pretty, fair question to ask because he has so many people that love him. I don't know if you noticed this, but the anime doesn't really show who Belle really likes. I mean, for example, this fourth season, you can say he likes Ryu because there were a lot of instances here and there, maybe at the end that maybe showed that he actually liked Ryu, but maybe in the second or third season, you could have said that he liked Ainz. Maybe in the first season, you could have said he liked Hestia. So yeah, the anime is purposely based on showing us who Belle likes. And I mean, yeah, like I said, that is a fair question to ask who he likes because yeah, I mean, he doesn't really show it. Or maybe it will be a thing that he will not end up with anyone. I could see that also happening, at the end of the anime. Whenever it happens, I can see him not, showing any preference for anyone. So maybe the author doesn't disappoint anyone. So yeah, like I said in the last episode review, in the episode 10, and I guess I was kind of right on this, that they were going to get saved by the Xenos and by Wealth and all the other ones. What I actually didn't expect was for you to fight too. But I guess it kind of makes sense because otherwise she wouldn't be fully polished out, her character, her backstory. So yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense that she actually defeated the monster, with the help of Belle. So yeah, that was the surprising bit of the episode. You always have a surprising bit here and there in each episode, and this was the one for me. So yeah, I think that was the episode, the last episode, episode 11. A really great episode. Now, if you ask me if there's going to be a fifth season of the anime, I would say yeah, definitely. But if you tell me when it is going to happen, well, that is another thing because to be honest, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows at this moment except for the author, to be honest. So yeah, I guess we all have to wait and see, watch the news, keep on reading about, everything that is happening surrounding Danmachi because I expect a fifth season to come. I don't know if it's going to be sooner rather than later. It could be, for all we know, announced in a couple of weeks or maybe in a couple of years. I mean, who knows, to be honest. But yeah, this fourth season was actually really good, including part 1. I don't know where I would rank it in terms of all the 4 seasons, but definitely up there because, I mean, it has been really great. And yeah, that is everything that I wanted to say about the episode. I hope you enjoyed my season review of part 1 and part 2. Hopefully, I will be making a season 5 review whenever that comes comes out. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my review, and that will be everything for me.